Hello and a very warm welcome to you all. I'm Meha Bhardwaj Alter and this is Game On, your one-stop destination for all things sports. We'll have two champions on the show. World number 8 HS Prannoy and Commonwealth Games gold medalist Lakshya will be on the show to talk about their plans for qualifying for the Paris Olympics. But let's begin with India versus Afghanistan. India wrapped up the T20I series over Afghanistan with a game to spare after chasing a target of 173 for the loss of 4 wickets in Indore last night. Having once again won the toss and opted to field, India bowled out Afghanistan for 172 in exactly 20 overs, with Akshar Patel leading the way with excellent figures of 2 for 17 in 4 overs on one of the smallest international venues in the country, while Arshdeep Singh, despite some more wide ball issues, took 3 wickets for 32 runs. India's chase began on a poor note with skipper Rohit Sharma out for a duck yet again, but Yashaswi, Jaiswal and Virat Kohli got off the blocks in a hurry to take the score to 62 before the power play was over. Virat Kohli showed positive intent in stepping out of the crease during his 16-ball 29, while the young gun Jaiswal, he was superb as he clobbered the Afghanistan paces all over the Holkar Stadium. The dismissal of Kohli in the 6th over saw Shivam Dube walk out, and he wasted little time in tearing into the bowlers. Dube and Jaiswal treated the Indore fans to a spectacle as they added 92 runs in just 7 overs, with Jaiswal getting 68 of 34 balls in that partnership. Jitesh Sharma fell for 0 with victory in sight, and it was Dube who finished off the chase with an unbeaten 63 of 32 balls. So Dube's innings was his second half century in a row after he made 60 not out from 40 balls in the first T20 and Mohali to similarly finish off the chase for India. To boot, he's taken 2 wickets in 5 overs bowled so far in the series, which has raised questions as to whether he can be a part of India's plans for the T20 World Cup, while Hardik Pandya remains on the mend from an injury he sustained during the ODI World Cup. The selectors gave Dube a chance against Afghanistan, and the 30-year-old Mumbai all-rounder has grabbed it with both hands with back-to-back unbeaten 50s. His knock at Indore featured the hallmark of Dube's batting for IPL champions Chennai Super Kings last year, as he took on the Afghanistan spinners with glee. A small ground, yes, but Dube's shots off the spinners would have been sixes on any ground, and the way he struck Mohammad Dabi for 3 sixes in a row showcased why people are talking up his hitting abilities ahead of the World Cup. Dube is indeed a powerful striker off the cricket ball, and his 22 sixes of spinners at a strike rate of 176 in IPL 2023 were a record. So then, if he succeeds in the final T20I and has a good IPL for CSK, will Shivam Dube leapfrog into India's T20 World Cup plans? If so, at whose expense? Okay, moving on. In a match headlined by some outstanding 6-hitting from Dube and Jaiswal, it was left-arm spinner Akshar Patel who rightfully walked away with the Player of the Match award last night. At the Holkar Stadium, with its flat track and notoriously small boundaries, Akshar bowled his 4 overs for just 17 runs while taking the wickets of Afghanistan skipper Ibrahim Zadran in the power play, and then the dangerous Gulbuddin Naib for 57. This performance from Akshar was further evidence of his skill inside the power play and of not going for a lot of runs on Indian pitches. Akshar only conceded 1 4 while bowling 11 dot balls, which on that track was excellent returns and had a big role in keeping Afghanistan to under 200. In the last 12 months, Akshar has an economy rate of just 5.85 from 28 overs bowled in 10 home T20Is, and he's done plenty to keep himself in India's plans for the World Cup in the West Indies and North America. Okay, now on to the big event that will start in New Delhi, the Indian Open. That'll kick off at the KD Jadhav Indoor Hall of the Indira Gandhi Indoor Stadium in New Delhi on Tuesday, which is tomorrow, January the 16th, with a round of 32 matches from 9 a.m. IST onwards. So it's part of the 32 tournament calendar year. The Indian Open stands at the 3rd position of the BWF grading system after the World Tour Finals and Super 1000 tournaments, which mean that there are more points up for grabs in this race to Paris. So it is an Olympic year. The tournament is on And each tournament till April 28th is important for the players, because India Open, being a Super 750 event, one of the only two till April 28th, along with the French Open, will give the winner a whopping 11,000 points. So all the top players will give it their all to win it. This includes HS Prannoy, this includes, Kunlavut Vidit, who is the defending champion. All these top players, Lakshya Sen, Kidambi Shrikant, they will all want to win this one to add to the points for Paris qualification. And now the 2023 World Championships bronze medalist HS Prannoy, he's ranked 8th in that race to Paris. He will be aiming to climb higher in the rankings. He joins us on the show. HS Prannoy, thank you so much for talking to us. 2023 was a breakout season for you. World Championship bronze, Asian Games bronze, Malaysia Masters. What are you looking forward to? What are you looking to achieve this season?
I think definitely to play consistent badminton. I think that has given a lot of satisfaction, to be honest. So I think the important goal for me is to definitely start playing consistent badminton, and to obviously win tournaments at regular intervals. I think that's the most important goal.
Okay, I've got to ask you this. In an Olympic year where qualification berths are up for grabs, for viewers who do not know, this is how it works, is that you need to be in top 16 to qualify for Paris by the end of April. So let me ask Prannoy as to how players, top players such as himself, approach tournaments in this Olympic year.
It is tough. It is a tough ask because of the number of tournaments which we have in the calendar, and to be kind of qualifying to the Olympics. I think you have to be in the top 16 of the world to be qualifying for the Olympics, and I think that's a tough task out there with the number of tournaments out there. So if you have lesser number of tournaments, then it's kind of easier to kind of choose which tournaments to play. But with these many tournaments in the calendar, I think you have to pick and choose which you feel that you are physically all right and you are kind of ready to push on that particular tournament. So I think that's the only way to go ahead with the Olympic qualification. But I think we are kind of nearing to the Olympic qualification, which is like April 28th, and we have probably 7 to 8 tournaments, and I think everybody is just going to push hard for that Olympic slot now.
Okay, HSP, is there something that you're doing differently with your game given the success you got last year?
I think I have not done much changes in my game, but I think the changes have always been with the team behind me. I think it's always an effort to create a team which kind of coordinates really well for your success, and I think I have been blessed that I had a team of almost 6 to 7 people who have been continuously and tiringly working for my success. And I think probably last year was one year where a lot of things came right on right times, and so I think that's the only thing which kind of changed in the last few years.
Last question before we let you go. Let's talk about India Open specifically. Prannoy, biggest badminton tournament in the country. You'll be playing in front of home fans. How big is that as a motivation to do well?
I think definitely it's a big motivation to kind of not just motivation, but it's kind of exciting to play in front of a lot of home crowd and home support. You hardly get it because you're continuously on tour, and just hardly one tournament you play in India where you have playing against the best in the world, and you have your entire country kind of supporting you. So really looking forward to this week's India Open, and hopefully we'll be there until the finals.
Well, we wish you all the very best, and thank you so much for that conversation. Also joining us now is Lakshya Sen. As per the Paris Olympic qualification regulations, India can have 2 men's singles player in the top 16 by 30th of April. Currently ranked 17th in that race to Paris rankings, Lakshya Sen, who won the Yonex Sunrise India Open in 2022, will commence his campaign against the emerging talent in Priyanshu Rawat with an eye on securing the coveted second spot. He's here with us. Hi Lakshya, thanks for talking to us. It's still January. Are there any New Year resolutions that you've already broken?
Yes, a lot of them, but yeah, I think not very serious ones yet. But yeah, I think it's a fresh start for me, and I'm here in India Open right now, and hoping to do well here.
Okay, a new year comes with new expectations. Paris Olympic qualifications is on the top of everybody's minds. How are you approaching the start of this year, given its importance?
I think for me, it's a first experience, first Olympic cycle, first a lot of first year. But I think I've now played 2-3 seasons in the top circuit now. But I think this is.
Okay, like you said, you've been playing in the top circuit for a few seasons now. Your opponents, they must have done their research. They've watched your videos. They know what to expect when they play you. Have you worked on getting some variations into your game, become sort of unpredictable for your opponents?
I think having said all those things where people also read your game and do a lot of research and have the data available here, but I think for me personally, I would focus a lot more on myself, on my abilities, what I can do and how I can get better on the court, on my on as an athlete, as a badminton player, how I can get better. So I think that is my prime focus on training. And yes, I think doing the video analysis, reading about the players, talking about badminton with the friends, with the top athletes that you travel around the tournament with your coaches, your team. So I think it is also important, but I think my top priority is to just become better on myself.
Sky is the limit. That's a tattoo on your neck. I just saw that, in one of those videos. Any new plan this year before we let you go?
I think I can't reveal them right now, but I think it's some mind space where you feel that you have to get something. But as of now, I'm just thinking about India Open. So.
All right. Thank you so much, Lakshya Sen, for taking the time out to talk to us. Both Lakshya Sen and HS Prannoy, they are going to be playing in the India Open that starts tomorrow. It goes on till the 21st. It is in KD Jadhav Hall at the Indira Gandhi Stadium. So if you are in New Delhi, NCR, please go watch this tournament. All the top badminton players will be in action. But thanks once again, and we wish you all the very best. We'll slip into a short break at this point. When we come back, sports news continues here on News 9.
जो राम मंदिर है वो किसका है?
ये राष्ट्र का मंदिर है।
हिंदू धर्म को लेकर चेतना है, वो केवल ब्रिटिश राज यानी कॉलोनियल एक्सपीरियंस का नतीजा है।
सारे दस्तावेज में राम का जन्म स्थान प्रमाणित है, राम का अस्तित्व प्रमाणित है। इतिहास में इस बात की निरंतर कोशिश की गई 75 साल तक कि राम मिथ है।
आज की जो कांग्रेस है उसको इतनी दिक्कत क्यों है राम मंदिर से?
कांग्रेस के कुछ नेताओं ने ऐसा माहौल देश में बनाया कि राम और राम का मंदिर अगर आप नाम लेंगे तो आप सांप्रदायिक हैं।
The Ayodhya story retold in exclusive conversation with Hemant Sharma.
Okay, back to sports. Former West Indies captain Clive Lloyd, he is in Kolkata, and the legend who led the team from the Caribbean islands to a title triumph in the first 2 Cricket World Cups. He talks about a number of issues ranging from tests getting over in 2 days to series being reduced to 2 tests. He also has a take on whether Virat Kohli can break Sachin Tendulkar's record of making a century of international centuries. Listen in.
What I like about India is they seem to have a much balanced side now. Their fast bowling is pretty good. They have good spinners. They have wonderful batsmen. So I think they've got a real top team now. And if they continue in this vein, they'll be around between 1 and 2 for quite a while. The cricket is quite exciting.
Virat Kohli is near to the Sachin Tendulkar's 100 hundreds.
Yeah.
And do you think that he can achieve the feat? And what time span do you think he will take to complete the 100 or he can?
I don't know about the time span, but he's young enough, and I'm sure that the way he's playing, that he can achieve anything he wants to achieve. And it would be something to be quite happy to achieve if he can get that 100. Well, I've said time and again that T20 is an exhibition and Test cricket is an examination. And I think that our youngsters seem to be getting this habit of trying to hit the ball out of the ground so that they can get a contract somewhere. And I don't like that. I would like to see we go back to a situation where you go on tour, you can blood a youngster. Can't do that now. If you go to England, you play 2 games, test match, 1 day, and then you've gone. They don't learn anything about the country, and they don't learn anything about playing cricket in England, or Australia for that matter, or India for that matter. I think India went somewhere the other day, and they played 2 warm-up games and they lost the series. Now, surely you have to play more games so that people could get acclimatized. At the moment, probably they're having too much T20. I'd like to see a little bit more Test cricket. And if you're playing Test cricket, I'd prefer 3 Test matches or 5. I don't think the West Indies should travel to Australia, 12,000 miles for 2 Test matches. And it doesn't make sense. Like the other day, it's 1-all. Now the other test now would have shown who was the better of the 2 teams. So really and truly, you should have. I think I'd like to see a little bit more cricket, Test cricket.
Clive Lloyd has long served as an International Cricket Council match referee. He also analysed the Cape Town pitch from a referee's prism. India had beaten South Africa in less than 5 sessions. Was there a devil in the pitch? Here is a seasoned referee's opinion.
Work done with match as a match referee.
Yes.
So what do you say about the wicket of Cape Town? What was controversial on India versus South Africa match?
Well, I don't think anything was wrong with the pitch. Somebody made 100 on that same pitch, and a wearing pitch. So I think it's just application. And I'm wondering if that had happened in India, what they would have done to the groundsperson. You know, because if you lose in a day and a bit, the first thing they look at is the pitch. I think India had a turning pitch here the other day, and everybody, said some terrible things about the pitch. If you're playing top-class cricket, you should be able to handle those sort of things. And I didn't see the pitch in Cape Town. It didn't look a bad pitch. Okay. It's just that people got out to some very bad shots.
Moving on, we've known Usain Bolt for speed and for thrill on athletics track. The Jamaican spinner broke the speed barriers in the world record-breaking Formula E Gen Beta race car in Mexico City. The event was organized ahead of the first Formula E race of the season. Bolt, while driving the car around the Autódromo Hermanos Rodriguez circuit, achieved 0 to 60 miles per hour speed in 2.89 seconds and powered through 100 meters in 4.36 seconds. This was 5.22 seconds faster than his world record 100 meters, the time of 9.58 seconds. He's known as the fastest man on earth as he holds the world records for 100 meters and 200 meter sprints. The Gen 3 is the fastest, lightest, most powerful and efficient electric race car ever built and reaches a top speed of more than 322 km per hour or 200 miles per hour.
Pleasure. We have a little gift for you with your experience, what you're about to go through. Specially designed. Usain Bolt colours. Hopefully it fits.
I hope so too.
And with that, Bolt also shared how his experience was. Listen in.
Gen car, this is the first time in my life I'm comfortable saying something is faster than me. That's the first time I've ever said that out of my mouth. It will never happen again.
It couldn't have been easy with that height to be sitting in that car for him. Okay, we're going to wrap this show up, but before we go, Bundesliga club Bayern Munich paid tribute to Franz Beckenbauer ahead of their first game since the passing of the German legend. The 78-year-old former Bayern player, coach and later president had died last week. Beckenbauer's death was announced through a statement from his family to German news agency, then confirmed by German Soccer Federation on Monday. The statement did not provide a cause of death. Former Bayern Munich great, who became affectionately known as Der Kaiser or the Emperor, had struggled with health problems in recent years. Beckenbauer also enjoyed international success, winning the World Cup both as a player and as a coach. Only two other players, Mario Zagallo and Didier Deschamps, have won the prestigious FIFA trophy both as a player and coach. We leave you with these visuals. Goodbye. Thanks for watching.
जो राम मंदिर है वो किसका है?
ये राष्ट्र का मंदिर है।
हिंदू धर्म को लेकर चेतना है, वो केवल ब्रिटिश राज यानी कॉलोनियल एक्सपीरियंस का नतीजा है।
सारे दस्तावेज में राम का जन्म स्थान प्रमाणित है, राम का अस्तित्व प्रमाणित है। इतिहास में इस बात की निरंतर कोशिश की गई 75 साल तक कि राम मिथ है।
आज की जो कांग्रेस है उसको इतनी दिक्कत क्यों है राम मंदिर से?
कांग्रेस के कुछ नेताओं ने ऐसा माहौल देश में बनाया कि राम और राम का मंदिर अगर आप नाम लेंगे तो आप सांप्रदायिक हैं।
The Ayodhya story retold in exclusive conversation with Hemant Sharma.
How do you fulfill that promise? Because ultimately expectations have to be met.
What certainly comes across is the lack of political will.
If you look at the political landscape, is it really changing for women, or the women reservation bill will need to do the needful?
Without any reservation, the women can fight.
And the gang issue is at the heart of it. And what is the inability of the forces that dead bodies surface but not the living people? Since the last 2 years, Khalistani terror groups are threatening Indian diplomats in Canada, US, UK and Australia. Investigations of these threats led us to the first ever abduction and killing of an Indian diplomat, Ravindra Matre, in UK's Birmingham in 1984. Our months-long investigation finally led us to the murderer of Ravindra Matre, who has been hiding in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir for the last 40 years. Watch our exclusive documentary, Murder of